Is this where the reviews happen? Is this Rejected Heroes Media? I think I'm lost. But hang on. Let's just pretend that first part didn't happen. Okay, so we're talking about What If, and we're on episode 6 now. We have 4 more because it's 9 episodes. But let's go back and let's rank them the best to the worst, worst to the best, whatever you want. I'm ranking worst to the best because why not? It's been great so far. The What If series has been really great to kind of give us like this. Here's what could happen if we took the comics and made it into a TV show, but we really didn't pay real voice actors. We just paid MCU actors to do their same lines. Yeah, let's get into that. Okay, so starting off, you have the first episode with Captain Carter, and it was great. It was a great like introduction to the entire series. Really great animation. But the only thing I had a problem with was the voice acting. Not so much the acting itself, because, it's obviously the same actors from the MCU, but it's the timing. It was all the timing. It's like, you're standing there and they're like, oh, well, we got to get this Tesseract. And then immediately after, it's like, they're saying their lines. It's like, give it some time. Give it some dramatic experience. Excuse me, do you even know how voice actors work? It's not like they get paid all the time. Yeah, just shut up. No, so we're talking about the voice acting, but there's one plot hole that I didn't like is how the fuck did Red Skull get the Tesseract when Captain Carter took it? Like, she goes in like Captain Rogers does in the first MCU film, the first Avenger, and takes the Tesseract, but then all of a sudden he's got it and he launches his secret weapon to bring Hive, which is the big tentacles, to bring Hive into the world. And it's like, wait, how did... I'm not really good at writing movies or plot lines, but I'm pretty sure it was locked up in the facility. But how did you get it? Is there 2 of them? Did they break the multiverse already? What's going on? And the best part is, the Watcher, he starts us off this journey, but as we get along, you're going to start seeing he plays a bigger role in all of this. So, the first episode was really great. It was good. Like, here's where we're at. Here's what we're going to get into. But yeah, Captain Carter just wasn't doing it for me, and especially the marketing for this. The marketing, they give us Captain Carter. This is your new Captain America. It's Captain Carter. All this blah blah blah. And yet, what happened to Sam? What happened to the 6 episodes of Sam going through all that shit that he had to go through, and to become Captain America? Like, he is our new Captain America, and you just threw it all away. Like, I know Twitter was up in a while about it, and I know here at Rejected Hero Media, we were kind of like, should we get in on that? Let's not. But now we are, because we're here. We're here. But yeah, they did Sam dirty. They did that boy dirty. Yeah, no. Okay, so the next one on my list of worst to best is, when the world loses the Avengers. Like, we're just going to pretend Endgame didn't happen and that Tony didn't give his life. All right, sure. But the whole thing of killing the main Avengers and seeing like, oh, who done it? It was like a very bad attempt at a horror film, but again, voice acting. It's just the timing. It just wasn't there for me. But what was really cool to see, I think the only part that I liked was Loki versus Hank Pym when Hank Pym's giving his speech of you never trusted her, you didn't protect her, because Hope dies. Because if you haven't seen it, it's a spoiler. But Hope dies, and Nick Fury's there, and he's like, I just don't give a damn. And like, it would have been really good if Samuel Jackson gives his famous song, I don't give a fuck, motherfucker. But then to show that it was Loki the whole time, and he just kind of like bitch slaps him, and to see Hank Pym go from Ant-Man to Yellow Jacket, it's kind of along the comic lines, but it's all with the MCU twist. Because he does become Yellow Jacket in the comic book. So let's talk about Killmonger. It's basically if you took Black Panther and Iron Man 1 and 2 and you just merged them, you get episode 5. And it was really great to see what would happen if Killmonger got his way, kind of did everything the way he was going to do. We don't get the aimbots, we don't get the start of the Avengers because Tony doesn't get hurt by his own tech. But, it it was okay. It wasn't really my favorite. It was just weird to hear Michael B. Jordan say Wakanda forever. Like, I don't know, that felt forced. It felt really forced. But to see him kill T'Challa, to kill Tony, to kind of just like be running around and like espionage, and it was good. But if they made it longer, I think I would have liked it a little bit more. I really didn't care too much for this one. That one, and going into the Doctor Strange episode, Doctor Strange was kind of, it was all right. It was good to see like how Doctor Strange would react to if he was illogical. He lost his heart, so he's gonna do anything for love. Anything for love. He loses his heart. He goes on this adventure, and he ends up splitting his own. Well, the Ancient One split him in half in one multiverse, and that's what ends up destroying everything. But, like I said, as you're seeing, the Watcher's getting closer and closer, right? He got so close that Strange could sense him. And the Watcher comes and says, you're messing up your timeline. You're messing up your multiverse. Like, he interferes. Even though the whole beginning he says, I will not interfere. Yeah, he's breaking his own rules because he's really sympathizing for these characters. But to see how Doctor Strange spent these centuries just learning and developing, and we get to see Hive come back and he absorbs him. But to see that versus Good Strange, I don't know. It felt like it was a foreshadowment of Far From Home. We're on to something there. Okay, so then we get into what I believe is everybody's favorite, T'Challa as Star-Lord, because when we had the initial trailer and he comes out and says, "A Ravager never flies solo." It was great because it's like Chadwick's back. This is his last project with Marvel, and it's really heartfelt to see him, hear him one last time, because we don't know where he was at with his battle here, and to see all the Easter eggs they had, like they had an X-wing in there, but to see how if he was a Ravager, if he was a part of the Guardians of the Galaxy, it was really cool to see, like, that what if. I really enjoyed, to see, like, if a Wakandan went to space, like, how would he react to it? Because, all of their technology is alien anyway. So, did he already know about his technology and alien races? Like, he kind of just, like, oh, cool, I'm just going to go hang out on Pluto. And then if Thanos went to therapy, he wouldn't have, snapped half the universe. They kept calling him Captain Genocide. I thought that was really super cool. And then the Collector being like this Shang Tsung kind of guy. Your soul is mine. And then he just collects all his junk. I thought that was cool. But that episode was one of the best for me. But my top favorite was the zombies. I read the original comic run in 2006. It was great. And it was really cool to see how they came over. How the zombie Reed Richards tricks Reed Richards from 616 to let him in. And so they're originally from 2149, and how they go in and invade 1610 and then invade the main 616 universe. But that storyline, if there's one comic series that I beg people to read, if you want to get into comics and Marvel, if this is your first time, aside from the movies, read the zombie series. And then there was a reboot in 2019 called Marvel Zombies Resurrection. And that one is even better, and it kind of goes along with all the same lines. But the zombie one was really great because you get to see how our MCU heroes would have reacted to the zombieverse. Like, you mix Walking Dead with Marvel, and it was great. And then again, you hear Chadwick Boseman calming Spider-Man, who's obviously not Tom Holland. You hear him calming him as the episode's ending, and he's talking about in his culture, death isn't the end. And let me let the man say it for himself.
You're all right.
Last year, Mr. Stark asked me to join the Avengers. I turned him down, and now they're all gone, and I'm still here.
In my culture, death is not the end. They are still with us, as long as we do not forget them.
Just, excuse me while I go cry real quick. Yeah, guys, so that's my worst to best so far in the MCU What If series. We're excited for the next 4 episodes. Let's see what comes about. This week we got episode 7. So Neezy's going to be doing the reviews as he always does. He's been doing really great. Thank you again for the love, the support, the likes, the shares, the comments. It's really fun reading them and how you guys like his energy. I hope that we can work something where we grow out to be a bigger thing. We meet you guys at Comic-Con, or we do all these other events. Maybe we hang out and talk movies, talk comics, whatever you guys want to talk about, let's do it. Also, if you really want to get into comics, you don't know where to start, I suggest you download Marvel Unlimited app. It's $9 a month, or you can also pay $70 for a whole year. You get access to 29,000 digital comics, and if you're on the go, you're on a business trip, you're flying out for wherever, it's a great app that you can download comics, read on the side, and collect. It gives it to you by events, characters, story arcs, writers, creators, anything you want to do. Or if you are an old-fashioned fanboy like I am and you like The Hunt, let me know. We can talk about Marvel Comics and where to start. What's the best arcs to start with. If you really don't know where to go, we can talk about that also. Sometimes I just like The Hunt, and going to the comic book store every couple of weeks and saying, okay, here's my shopping list, and then you end up walking out with more than what you wanted. But that's the best part of comics. It's you can start anywhere and you can be anything. As always, guys, subscribe. Until next time.